Hello everyone, Malphite here, and today I just want to do a quick analysis slash commentary on the state of the LEC roster changes, roster moves, and we are more than halfway through or around halfway through. These are the confirmed roster changes. Some are rumored for now, not really confirmed, but I just want to go a team by team and just give my thoughts, on how the off season is going and what can we expect. So first of all, let's start with team vitality. We see that the bot lane and jungle stayed. We have Linsas in the jungle, very prospective rookie. He played, I think, only one split. I think it was a summer split, and team vitality bombed out of this split. But very high promises. Also, Mech and Pad want to play with this player, and Karzi Hylissang, very good bot lane. Now they replaced VTO with Chayek and Photon with Nako, and I think both of these changes are possibly a downgrade. But sometimes when a team does not function, you need to make some changes, and I think all these players already played together. Maybe they want to play together, and maybe the team synergy will be better. And also, while I think these players are mechanically worse, there are different aspects to the team, and so I expect this team to be a middle of the pack team, maybe a bit worse in winter split, but I could see this team be a upper pack team towards the end, summer split, season finals, potentially making worlds, right? So I think this is a very interesting project, and the strength in bot lane, and it's just something you cannot disregard. Moving on to the team BDS, we'll see that Nuke and Ice stayed, which basically became like staple players. Irrelevant, the hottest, most contested top lane pick, replacing Adam. So this is, I think, a upgrade. And then we have Shio being replaced by 113. I'm not really sure about this move. I think 113, we've already seen him in LEC. I think he seemed a bit better, but that was in the LFL. So many players look good there, and they come to LEC and it's not going as great. But I think with a really good strong core of players, this team will do well. I think it will be in the upper pack team, potentially a contender. We'll have to see how 113 blends with the team. Also, we have Labro being replaced by Parus. Now, Parus, again, a very hype prospect coming from the LFL. Labro was a really good support, so I don't know how Parus will do, but I think even the potential downgrade in the support role is still less of a downgrade than the upgrade in the top lane, and then Shio for 113 is just a side grade. So I think Team BDS actually upgraded, so I think they might be contesting the top teams next year. So then we have SK Gaming. So far only Niski replaced by Reeker. Reeker, another young player coming from the LFL. Already seen him. I think he played for Mad Lions, maybe like 2021, 2022. I do not actually remember that well. I think Niski, a really good player, but maybe again, team wasn't blending, or maybe he was more expensive than teams can afford now. We can just speculate. But irrelevant, leaving this team, a big downgrade. I think the mid lane is downgrade as well, but we'll have to see, have to give Reeker a benefit of the doubt. I think there was a video, Crepo, the GM of SK Gaming, playing a game with Yamato, Cage Rule, Dom, talking about the offseason, and he stated that they already have a support locked in, so maybe they're just keeping their whole import bot lane, Rahul and Luon, but you never know, maybe there are some other tryouts, and we'll just have to see. But so far, looking like a downgrade. They lost a piece in the mid lane, they lost a piece in a top lane, so I expect this team to be a bottom place team, but we don't know who they will bring, so maybe this team will completely turn it around and just will surprise everyone. Followed up by Rogue. I expect this team to be very bottom of the pack. They keep Larsen, still a really good mid laner, definitely deserving of the LEC spot. I think last year he was done a bit dirty. I do not know exactly what went wrong in the team, but Rogue as a team was completely dysfunctional. We see Zoralis moved on to the Team Go in the LFL, I think, so they will be bringing a new support. There were some rumors of a different organization buying out Rogue. I think it was supposed to be Nigma Galaxy or Falcons. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if this is going to go through or not, but so far I think Rogue is still in charge of making the team, and I think it's kind of known in the esports scene that they do not have a lot of money right now. So the Rogue team will probably be very budget. So, I do not know who they will bring, but we can probably expect this team to be really bottom of the pack. Mad Lions, I think all the players so far should be confirmed. I think they're only looking for a change in the mid lane, which I think is the obvious choice. Now, there are no Spanish mid laners. We've seen Jojo Pune tweeting a Spanish flag, so there's a big hype around Jojo joining this team. Personally, I think, bringing Jojo would be an upgrade to this team, and I think this team is already pretty good. I think all the players really want to play together. I do not know how Jojo would mesh with this team. I also think, it's not like Jojo now wants to play for Europe. So while a big move, I think, after 1 year, he would just move back to the NA. And so there's a second alternative, which is Nemesis. I think Nemesis mentioned in an interview once that he respects Ibai a lot, and he would play in the team if Ibai would ask him to. And maybe they can figure out the deal where Nemesis can still stream. But maybe Nemesis was also talking about a different something like a different team, and that's also the team related to Cadril, but that's probably not in the LEC, right? So we do not know so far. It's mostly pointing to Jojo, could be Nemesis as well. Both huge upgrades. I would really love to see Nemesis back in the LEC. I think that would just bring the level of the league so much higher. And I also really want to see what kind of player he is in the competitive scene again. Contesting caps. I think no matter who you bring, whether Jojo or Nemesis, it will be an upgrade. But I would really like for their placement to be Nemesis. I'll have to see. Followed by KPN Corp. They're keeping Vladi in the mid lane. I think this is reasonable. I think Vladi showed some prospects, although I personally think Abedage, still, LEC caliber player, maybe not the cream of the crop, but still definitely a good player. But we're going with Vladi. We're going with the young blood. Then Upset will be replaced by Calist, and Targamas will probably stay. And then I do not know what will happen in the jungle, in the top lane. Maybe they will keep Kana, maybe sign someone like Jankos. Also, we do not know if Jankos is retiring or if he's wants to do like a last dance or something. But I still think he's a really, really strong player. So we also had the news that G2 is dropping Yike and Mickey, which I'll talk about in a second. But if KPN Corp actually wants to win, they could just get these players. We know it's a big league. They still have some money. They always will with their support, even if they're in debt or whatever. So bringing Yike and Mickey, you could be looking at a roster like Kana, Yike, Vladi, Calist, Mickey. And this is like a contender roster, right? Like this is a roster, if you work on it in a year, you can definitely make worlds and you can definitely snatch a title, right? Like it's not a delusional thinking. So if you really want to win, this is the play. But most likely in a KC way, we'll see Vladi, Kalis, Targamas, maybe keeping Kana, maybe getting a player like Photon, I don't really know, and then get a jungler, Jankos or Yike, or I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Heretics. On paper, all these changes so far are downgrades. I think Carlsen, I don't know what kind of player he is, but Wonder is a really solid player. Also replacing Jankos by Shio. I didn't like Shio on Team BDS. I didn't really think he was a LEC caliber player, but there are not that many great jungle players. So I just see this team as a bottom of the pack. I do not know if they keep Trimby, if they find someone else. Same for Zweiru. You could bring maybe Abedage. Could bring Niski to this team, but overall, so far I do not really like it. There are three splits now, so still some potential changes for roster moves, but I think when teams change their rosters a lot, it's not it's not the best for the team synergy and whatnot, but sometimes it is necessary. So, Heretics bottom of the pack. Moving on to Giant X. Now, this team wants to rebuild around Jackies. No one else is safe. I think D'Antonio, Juhan, Ignar are out for sure. Patrick maybe in. This is a team that actually has a very high potential. I do not know how much money do they have, but I think Jackies is a strong mid lane prospect. So, bringing Yike and Mickey, keeping Patrick or maybe replacing Patrick by someone like Upset, bringing, let's say, Wunder or Photon to the top lane, and suddenly you do have a potentially contender team, right? So we'll have to see how this one goes, but for now, just speculation wise, I would say middle of the pack, but could definitely be up there, upper pack, but could be also low, depending if they troll the off-season or not. Next up, we have G2 Esports. Now, for me, this was very surprising. G2 decided to replace Yike and Mickey X. Now, me personally, I was very surprised by this move, specifically because, Mickey X, I think, is the best support we have in Europe, and he's the support that has been constantly challenging, Western, Eastern teams, right? Cooking up these picks, these poppies, and Lissandras and whatnot, these strategies, and constantly, in the rankings, being up there among the Eastern players. With Caps, with also BB now leveled up, and I think replacing Yag is the obvious choice when you look at this team, because even if a player is not as good, they will obviously look very good among good players. But I think Mickey already showed that whatever roster you put him, he automatically makes the roster so much better. I think this was the case when Mickey went to Excel. Not really the case for Hans Sama, I guess, although Hans Sama is still a really, really solid player. I think if they wanted to replace two players, they should have went for Yike and Hans, but then again, who do you replace Hans with, right? I know G2 doesn't really like importing, so, Karzi is locked in for Team Vitality. Who do you get, right? Do you get Upset? Maybe the players do not want to play with him, or maybe do not believe in the player. Maybe they also were looking to snatch Calist, or maybe they do not think it would be good to have a rookie AD carry. I do not know, but maybe they just thought that they cannot replace an AD carry. And rumors are that we are getting Skewmond and Labrov. Now, Labrov, a really good support. I just do not see that clutch factor, that clutch potential. So in support, I think this is a downgrade. And Yike for Skewmond, I think this is an upgrade just for the reason of, doing something, changing the team up a bit, bringing the fresh roster and trying to do something different. Also, Yike and Skewmond, similar path where they were very dominant in the LFL. Then they got to the LEC and joined the G2 immediately. So, we'll see how this goes. But, I still think G2 will be the best team. It just kind of looks like it. It's just, I think it will be a bit of a downgrade. So I think the other teams maybe will also be more competitive. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens to Mickey. Finally, we're closing on Fnatic, because I'm rambling for quite some time now. Australian, the only player locked in so far. Razorg is in contract jail, so you probably keep Razorg, right? really best jungler, you do not really have a good replacement. And now the problem comes, right? Because so many players on the Fnatic subreddits were calling for a replacement of Humanoid. But, you know, who do you have to replace Humanoid? Like, even though he did not have a good, play at the Worlds, you know, who do you take? Like, do you take Niski? Do you take Abadage? You know? Do you take Jojo? Is that why he was tweeting the Spanish flag, you know? Is it Oscarinin, Razork, and Jojo Pune? Like, I do not know, but it just, all these players, they seem like a side grade at best. Now, this might help Fnatic, you know, like, introduce some change, but the same kind of applies for AD carry and support. You know, who do you replace Jun with? Mickey? But, you know, you don't really take the whole Mickey Yike deal together. You just take a replacement for Mickey. You know, it's possible. But, you know, who else? Like Trimby, Mickey, right? So potentially we could maybe see something like Oscarinin, Razork, Jojo, Noah, Mickey. But I think June was actually a really, really good support. So not really a need to change it unless you could get like Mickey. And also Noah, you know, really, really good AD carry. It has his shaky moments and like mental booming and stuff, but you know, who do you replace Noah with? Again, I'm kind of a upset believer a little bit, but seems like a side grade at best. So you probably keep Noah, you probably keep Razork, and then if you want to make some changes, you probably need at least 2. And so we could be looking at something like Jojo Mickey, Niski Mickey, right? So far, yeah, I don't really know how to evaluate this, but it's definitely going to be exciting to see the moves. And I'll definitely make some, quicker, more informative and more in-depth videos about each of these teams, or maybe where a player could end up given the state of the offseason. And also probably look at the LCS offseason and then the whole Americas region. So, subscribe for more videos, give the like if you like my rambling, and give me some opinions in the comments. I'm really, really looking forward to them, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.